Well, good afternoon, chairs. I'm sorry I can't be at your department meeting today, but I've got a really wicked cough. It's absolutely killing me. So I had to stay home today, but I thought I'd record this little video. I still think we have some things about curriculum mapping we need to talk about and discuss. I wanted to give you some feedback from the workshop last week, but if you'll excuse me one second, I've got some cue cards over here that I'm going to be reading, and these sunglasses are making it really hard for me to read them. So one second. All right. So after the workshop on the 13th, I asked some of the participants to fill out a quick Google survey, and I've gotten about 40 out of the 50 back so far. I'll send you out some of the typical comments about what people said, but here are just some of the highlights, some of the trending topics. Overall, comments are 100% in favor of curriculum mapping as a concept. In general, people were very favorable about it. It's seen as a potentially positive and necessary process, could lead to great things. However, there are some legitimate concerns. So here are some of the main ones. The faculty in general needs to be given solid reasons why we would do this. It's going to be work, it's going to be time. What are the benefits? It needs to be clearly stated that it is in fact a process, not a one and done, not just yet another reform, one more thing to throw on the plate. Again, they'll need time. We're going to need details. That was, by and large, the main thing. People wanted some more details, which I totally get. What's the format for our maps? What are some good, can you give us some good examples, content-specific examples of curriculum maps? What does the electronic product look like? What's the long-term timeline for Leiden? And overall, we are really confused about standards, which I think makes a little bit of sense. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. I would still like to have that faculty meeting on the 29th to present the concept of mapping to the faculty and then directly address some of those concerns. I've invited Mike Rush to come back on the 8th. So following the advanced ed report from the school improvement team, Mike can present the case for mapping to the faculty. 45 minutes to an hour tops. I think what he did at the beginning of our workshop was really good. It'd be okay in a big group, but not for too long. I have to call him this week to finalize some details. And by the way, I've posted his presentation from last week in our area in Blackboard, the DC area in Blackboard, under information, and then curriculum mapping information and files, and you'll see Mike Rush's PowerPoint. After Mike's presentation that day, departments can then separate and teams can work on the basics of a unit they've recently taught. Content, skills, and assessments. The specific unit is not really that important right now, but just to get practice with doing concept, skills, and assessments. I'll create a basic Word template for download. They can upload their product via Blackboard by the end of the 8th. I'll create a tutorial for creating an item in Blackboard and uploading into the correct folder. That can be part of the workshop on the 8th, and chairs can help with that. Or you can front load it by spending some time in the Wednesday in-service on the 6th, the Wednesday before the Friday in-service, or institute. After the 8th, this is what we need to discuss. After the workshop last week and discussing this with many of the participants, I think the key is that we start mapping what's really going on in the curriculum. Diary mapping. If we try to get consensus right away and move right to a consensus map, we're not going to get good data. And I heard that over and over from people. The loudest voices are going to win, and people are just going to go back to doing what they do, and we're not going to get good information about what is truly going on. We're not going to get a really transparent curriculum, and that's the whole point of this, I think. I know Mike Mandarino would like to see a direct connection between mapping and disciplinary literacy. Right, Mike? All right, back me up on that. Perhaps we could use the already scheduled literacy in-service meetings to give departments time to work on documenting concepts, skills, and assessments, particularly that skills piece. That's kind of the connection between disciplinary literacy, the learning activities, the learning actions, and skills. So Mike, after I'm done, maybe you can talk about that a little bit. Is that all right? Great, thanks. Now, I know I sent an email out to chairs about standards, and Mike Rush spent some time with standards. With the Common Core out there, and everything's sort of in flux, and science is coming, and social science is coming, or social studies is coming, potentially on the horizon. I'm wondering at this point, for this year, if entering standards into this discussion is just going to muddy the waters. We need to get clarity on what standards we're supposed to use, of course, but I wonder if we need this year to concentrate our efforts on just practicing entering what's really going on in the curriculum, and writing content, skills, and assessments. People could continue uploading via Blackboard into those folders. It's not the most efficient system. That's not what it was designed for, but it would give us a chance to take a look at what people are writing and start giving them some feedback. For the remainder of this year, this is what I'm thinking. We can look at the electronic products that are out there. There are a few. And we can get a plan together for integrating standards into the maps. By the end of this year, I suspect we'll have a clearer picture of what the mapping process will be, and we can get started for real, so to speak, next year. Hopefully what people have worked on this year will be transferable to next year as well. We're not just going to throw all the work that we did out. Hopefully we'll be able to use that with whatever product we decide on. So that's kind of what I have. Talk amongst yourselves. Mike, if you could talk a little bit about how you see curriculum mapping and disciplinary literacy combining. And bye-bye, and I hope I'll see you guys soon. I'm already feeling better. Bye-bye.